5:57 now. Here's a look at your Friday morning rush. Hundreds of thousands of Americans continue to file for unemployment benefits. According to the Labor Department, another 861,000 people filed weekly jobless claims last week. That was much higher than expected. Congressional Democrats take aim at immigration with a sweeping overhaul bill. The White House-backed U.S. citizenship bill would automatically make farm workers temporary protected status holders. That bill would also allow undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as children to be eligible for green cards. After 3 years, they could apply for citizenship. NASA's newest Mars rover had a picture-perfect landing on the red planet. The rover Perseverance sent back its first picture to Earth from nearly 300 million miles away. Perseverance has two jobs: collecting samples to look for signs of life and studying the planet's surface with drones. Both lay the groundwork for humans to visit one day. And that is a look at your morning rush.